Okay, hello YouTube. Hello fellow YouTubians. All right, today I want to talk about growth and how important it is within your mind, your body, and your spirit. I know there's a lot of people out there who struggle with growth, who struggle with finding their way, you know, finding themselves. And I know how difficult that can be. But what I want to do today, at least within this video, hopefully people watch it and see it, and I will definitely continue to keep making more, especially if I can know as well that people are taking the time to listen to what I have to say, which I do think it is important, in life in general. If we don't have growth, we don't have progression. If we don't have progression, we don't have understanding. And we need to grow so we can understand. We need to understand so we can continue to keep growing. And it's not just for us, it's for yourself, it's for the people around you. It's for the people who aren't here anymore, it's for the people who will be here. And this is why it is very important to find growth within yourself, and that growth allows unity. And unity gives strength, motivation, hope. So I believe that having the discussion about these things and allowing yourself to understand growth, thus you understand patience, you understand uh, mercy, compassion. Then you start to understand what real strength is, not just from here, but from here. You get me? And then also too from here. You understand that the power of the mind and the power of the body, when they both are on the same page, that they make monumental progression. It is a benefit to all. So overall, just to kind of get a little bit to the point, I don't want to make the video too long, but because I want to be able to see if I can get people to, come in and listen to what I have to say. But in order for me to do that, I can't go on a rant or tangents or whatever. But for the most part, just to simplify it, is that at least to give some perspective on how it worked for me, is that I was lost in my life. It was difficult. By the time I got to around my teen years, I would say that's when I really struggled the most. I mean, I've always struggled, but being around more so in my teen years is what gave me the biggest struggle of them all, because that's the time when you really start to grow and to come into yourself. But in order for you to do that, you have to first look inside yourself. You start to find interest, you start to look at things differently, you start to be insecure about things that you normally wasn't insecure about before. You start worrying about what people think. You start to worry about what you say now, whether or not if how people perceive you, if they like you or not. So at least for me, that was something that I struggled with, and I had all these good intentions. I had pretty good values. I had pretty decent morals, but I had no place, like no filter for all of these things that were inside me that were good, that could grow and elevate. It wasn't, it's like you have a beautiful plant, but you're not watering it every day. I wasn't taking care of it in the way that I should. So it wasn't able to grow any further than where it was. It didn't matter if I was smart, it didn't matter if I had good intentions. If you don't have a good filter and how you navigate with the things that are inside you, then all it's going to do is rot. You have to place yourself around people who appreciate you. You have to be willing to do right by yourself without regret. You have to be willing to express yourself, you get me, without regret. You have to be willing to take a chance, on what you are and being able to put that out there, to being able to share that, because nobody won't see you for who you are, whether it's for the good or the bad. Even if people were to reject you or people were to disagree with you, at the end of the day, at least what you're doing is you're practicing how to express yourself in a healthy manner. You're teaching yourself to get comfortable with being able to take the good that is inside you and to effectively and positively express that outward. Because if you don't have practice on being able to express who you are, to take the good parts of yourself, to take the curious parts of yourself, and to be able to have a healthy filter and express that outward, all it's going to do is stay stagnant and stay inside. And if you allow other people to dictate what you put out, then you'll never have the practice of being able to express yourself in a healthy manner, regardless of people's opinions or even what the outcome may be. It takes strength to speak about what's on your mind. It takes strength to speak about what's right. It takes strength to even manifest or speak about what's good for yourself. So I think it's important for people to practice on that. You know, a lot of people worry too much about what other people think or what other people say about them. You know, they're worried about if somebody would take it the wrong way. But if you take the time to understand what it means to have healthy, positive outlooks, to know how to healthily be expressive with positive affirmations, considerations, you know, considerating other people, you know, having your heart in the right place. You know, not everybody's going to respond to that perfectly. Not everybody's going to be where you're at, but practicing on that word of mouth, practicing on that spiritually, practicing on that mentally is going to help you to get better at it. So for the people who can't do it, and for the people who endure and can't, who struggle with it, you get me? They're going to be able to find strength in what you're putting out. Because believe it or not, people watch you. I don't care who you are. People watch you. They see what you do. They see how you move. You know. And this is just an example. You could have a 400-pound person, right? In their worldview, they could believe that nobody's watching them because how they may perceive themselves. You know, I'm fat. I'm not too. You know, I'm not good looking. I'm not in the best shape. You know, they may perceive me as lazy. More times than not, when a person is insecure and they have that doubt, that fear, that lack of motivation within themselves, they automatically assume that nobody's paying attention to them because of the outlook, the negative outlook that they have on themselves. But that's where they're wrong. People are watching you because when you improve from a place in which they believe is not the best, they see it. When you're in a bad place, whether it be within yourself, mentally, spiritually, whatever, physically, they see it. People see you when you're at your lowest. People see you when you're at your highest. People, no matter where you think that you're at, people watch you and they see you. People have an opinion about everybody, whether they believe so or not. We all do. You know, so we watch each other. We pay attention to each other because we draw strength from one another. Whether we believe so or not, we do. Whether you recognize it now or you recognize it 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, we're drawing strength from the people that we encounter. We draw a lot of things from people, even the negatives. We take this from them. Even when we believe it's not affecting us, it's affecting us. And good and growth is the same way. You may not believe somebody positive next to you is affecting you. You may not believe somebody next to you who's, you know, moving in a bad way is not affecting you. It all affects us because we take it in. Our subconscious takes it in. Our heart takes it in. It is very important on who you place yourself around and who you allow yourself to listen to. You know, this is why it's important to have good discernment between good and bad and understanding the differences between uh, uh, good and bad, so that way you can have a better uh, sense on what to take in and what to let go, what to put out, and it allows you to be able to find more like-minded people like yourself. So I would give the best advice that I can and tell people and encourage them that when you have good things in your life, don't force it on people. You get me? But be able to express it in a healthy manner. If you work out, express it in a healthy manner. I've been exercising for about 20 years now, and I've had to learn that looking at other people and saying, hey, they're out of shape or they should do this, they need to do that. You don't need to do anything. At the end of the day, I can just say, hey, it helped me. And if you ever want some advice or if you got any questions, I'll be open to share them with you. And I hope that what I've learned can help you on your journey of growth. And that's the best thing that you can do with anybody. I don't care what it is, whether it be religion, whether it be, even if you're selling something, whether it be that you're just trying to give advice on anything positive. You get me? Shit, even some bad advice. You get me? Because sometimes even advice that can help somebody can be bad advice. Because even bad advice or bad perspectives can give us a perspective on helping us to find better answers, helping us to find growth. Because a lot of times we have to fall in order before we can get up. And falling is not a very good experience. But when you get older and when you grow from these experiences, you're realizing that falling is one of the best experiences that you can have because it allows you to appreciate getting back up. It allows you to find strength in yourself that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see unless you fail. So, being with all that said, don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't be afraid to manifest, express, give, share, you know, good things, positive things. Don't be afraid to share if you ran a lap. Don't be afraid to share if, you discovered the true meaning of love. Don't be afraid to share that you've been taking yoga for 10 years. You know, I think it's a good thing to express the good things that we grow from, that we encounter, or even our journeys and our tragedies that have allowed us to grow better as people. You find people who are willing to listen. But in order for you to find these people who are willing to listen, you first have to speak. So that means that you have to get past the fear of worrying about what people think. Because behind every person who doesn't want to listen to you, there's a person who does. So keep that in mind. And I would say if you took anything from what I had to say, even though there's a part where I feel like I kind of jump from different things, but for the most part, I would say just take in what I'm saying and take the positive out of it. Take the tragedies, take the failures, take the falls, take the ignorant times in your life and use those as a catalyst to propel yourself to much more higher positive feats because it worked for me. It allowed me to be able to speak better. It allowed me to be able to think better. It allowed me to be able to have better compassion. It allowed me to have the strength to speak even when I feel insecure. It allows me to find myself, my voice, and to be able to latch onto my greatest strength without regret and be able to release that and express that without regret. You should never have regret for being kind, never have regret for being in love, never have regret for giving love. You should never allow other people to take the love and good and growth that you have inside of you because they're failing to find it within themselves. They're going to struggle and they're going to have their own journeys and they're going to have their own challenges to face. The best thing that we can do for them is allow ourselves to continue to grow so we can show them that they can do it too. Regardless of how bad it is, we have to be there for one another. And that type of positivity, compassion, understanding, mercy, all of these concepts, these positive concepts are important to push outward. Because keep this in mind, all of the negative concepts, all of the negative things, evil, whatever it is you want to call it, it doesn't rest. It doesn't take a break. It doesn't make an excuse to why it can't come out to play today. It doesn't make an excuse to why um, it's going to not do its job. You know, when a fat person looks at themselves in the mirror and those insecurities and those doubts comes in, is it taking a break? No, it's not. When you have to fall, is that taking a break in life? No, it's not. Negative aspects will always be consistent. So when we understand this, we have to understand that positive aspects and affirmations, energy, spiritually, mentally, physically, morally, whatever, it doesn't take a break, but understand that it works through us. We're the catalyst. So we are the ones who have to manifest it, work on it, see the beauty in it, and continue to keep pushing it. You get me? And I think it's important because even when we believe that there's nobody out there listening, nobody who's paying attention, understand that they are listening. They are paying attention. Even for the people who don't want to hear you, they're still listening. And at some point in their life, when everything's said and done and life is hard, those words, your actions, your voice, everything that you put out that was positive, those are the things that they go latch into when they have nothing else. It's just easier for them to tell you to be quiet or to shut you down because they're not at that place yet. But whether it be through positivity, whether it be through tragedy, whether it be through failures or whatever, people will always eventually reach that place. Well, they will yearn, they will want, they will ask, they will cry out for the very same positivity and mercy and understanding in which you're putting out. The only way we can inspire and give hope is through our growth of positivity, our growth through struggle, our growth through happiness, being able to put a smile on my face because of what I went through, being able to understand how difficult it is, to get through tragedy and how hard it can keep you down, knowing what depression can cause, knowing what self doubt, failure, bullying, and all these things can cause. But when we manifest that positivity, regardless, we're saving them. We're showing them that they matter. It doesn't matter if it's direct or indirect. We're showing them that there is always a safe place and that they are valued and that they can do it too and that they matter too. That is, to me, that is how positivity works. That is how growth works. That to me, that is strength because I can't be my best without you. I can't be my best at all. I wouldn't have been able to make it this far if I didn't learn from the tragedies, the depression, the bullying, and everything else that I went through as an individual or anybody else out there. It taught me to appreciate where I'm at right now. It taught me to appreciate the journey, the struggle, and what I've learned and what I've taken from that. Even with the people I didn't want to listen to growing up, said things I didn't care to listen to, I realized that I still took it in. Whether I wanted to listen to it or not, whether my body rejected it, whether my spirit rejected it, whatever, I still took it in. And then at a certain point in my life when I needed it the most, guess what? Those words, those actions, whatever it is you want to call it, you get me? That affects us, whether it be speech, whether it be, dreams, whether it be words, whether it be your mother, your dad's last words, whether it be somebody who beat you up and told you, gave you a life lesson, something that could really help you. You get me? We take it in, but it's our job to take the time to lay in bed with it, to allow ourselves to find comfort with it, to understand it, and to make that choice to appreciate it and to continue to absorb the comfort and the knowledge it's giving you spiritually and mentally. So I hope this made it sense to people, or anybody who's watching. And also, too, if you like more of what I have to say, I hope that you subscribe and give it some likes and recommend it to other people. I will add more. If anybody got questions, leave your comments or whatever. Bring forth things that you want to talk about. and we can have a discussion. If you got any questions, I don't mind giving answers. So I just want to say I hope that I can continue being able to do this, and that the people who stop by and give me a visit, they will continue to want to listen to what I have to say. So if you're listening, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope that I can continue to become a lot more better at this than what I am now.